Hi, this is Sam Mack, speaker, author, motivator, and diversity and inclusion consultant. So, last week I visited President Lincoln's cottage. President Lincoln actually has a cottage that was about 3.5 miles north of the capital of DC, and he used to spend the summers there because it was slightly cooler there. And also, he had lost his son to illness, so he liked to get away from the White House with his family because a lot of the memories in the White House reminded him of his past son. So during the tour of President Lincoln's cottage, did you know that during the era when President Lincoln was running the country, immigration in this country was not as big of an issue as slavery, but immigration was at 13%. Yes, 13% of the US population in the 1860s were immigrants. And so, guess what? Do you know what the percentage is now? 13%. We have the exact same amount of immigrants that we had in the United States when President Lincoln was president. So nothing has changed. But what has changed is our focus on some of the negative issues associated with immigrants. But let's face it, we have the land mass and we have the blessings in this land to support these people. But why are we making it a bad thing? And why has it become a negative thing now? Maybe it was because during Lincoln's era that slavery was a bigger focus and the separation between the North and South in values was a bigger focus, so immigration was not a focus. And now it has become a focus. But you know what? Having anyone come into our country, probably the most blessings that I have seen in the US coming from where I immigrated from, Pakistan, a totally homogeneous country, is that the immigrants and the different foods that they bring with them and the different work ethics and the different techniques of performing a task is probably the biggest blessing and strength that the United States has. Having that different mindset, because otherwise what you do is you get into this stuck mindset where everybody thinks exactly the same. And what happens when you have a nation, an entire nation, that everybody thinks exactly the same? You introduce a new idea and on a global level, it's shot down. It's shot down culturally. It's shot down in the company. It's shot down by society. But to have a society like this, and 13% is still very low, but to have a society like this where the different ideas come and they blend and they make that, American salad where everyone is a different vegetable and a different, color and a different flavor, that's what makes this country special. And so, yeah, there's some adjustment of dealing with people that are not exactly like us. And yeah, there's a little bit of communication gap with people that may not speak the same language. So yes, there are some challenges of having these, but to have those new ideas come in and rock the boat. Part of the reason that I have been able to go into companies and change the way they do business is because I was raised so different. And my global perspective is so different, and that I am bicultural, so that brings in something different. And all those tools come in to the way I problem solve and see a problem. So we want to have the people that have a perspective different than us, because maybe they can see some holes in our processes that we are just blind to.